How's it going, guys? My name is TrueNathan, and today I'm going to show you how I make Steve's thumbnails. Now, I know this is Steve's channel, so I want to point out the reason I'm uploading to this channel is because I've been speaking to Steve. We noticed a lot of people asking how he makes his thumbnails, so we thought the best solution would be for me to come along for a one-time deal and show you how I make Steve's thumbnails. So, one of Steve's most notable thumbnails has to be the Minecraft stadium builds. They're the ones he uses the most. So today, I'll be showing you how to make a thumbnail just like this that isn't quite this. So the first thing we need to do, we go File, New, and then we're looking to create a 1920 by 1080 pixels, landscape orientation, 72 resolution, pixels per inch, RGB 8-bit color mode, with a black background. You can go into the advanced options, but you don't really need to because they're pretty much set to default by like what's best automatically. So the one layer that never gets changed on this entire sort of project is this background layer. As if you see, if we come back over to Steve's thumbnail and we scroll down, you can see the black background still there. The most notable feature has to be Steve's face. So for this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a picture I took earlier, and I'm going to show you how I cut out the background. So for that, you want to come to the pen tool, and I usually start off right the way across the bottom, shift click the far bottom left of the picture, and then all the way across to the right. And now that automatically creates a straight line along the bottom of the picture. After that, we zoom in using Control Plus, and we are pretty much just tracing not quite the outside of the image, but far enough onto the inside to leave just a small gap between the image and the edge of it. And when you're done, you just want to click on the square you started off on. You want to right click, make selection, 0 pixels, anti-analyst, new selection, yes. Unlock the background by clicking the padlock and then go Control C, Control V. And then you want to hide the original layer. This gives us a nice clean edge all around the image, but still keeps the original shape. So what we want to do this time is we want to bring up Control A. This brings up the little marching ants all the way around the border. Control C. Back over to the thumbnail, Control V, and what I usually do from there is scale it down to where it's going to be placed, and bang, just like that, we're done. So another thing you can do, guys, is what I do sometimes, I did it on mine and Steve's Warzone thumbnails, is if you create a new layout and put it underneath, you can actually control click the image from above, then go select, modify, expand by 10 pixels, gradient that in just a little bit, and then I usually put it on a soft light. It doesn't show up on the black background, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So after that, we want a nice background image. So let's go for an artistic background. So after you're on Google Images, you want to go Tools, Size, Large. Although I'm actually quite drawn to this one. And then you want to search for one you like. Like I said, I've already done one. And you want to make sure the resolution is equal to or bigger than 1920 by 1080, because this is obviously what you're working with in Photoshop. So once you've got the image, back into Photoshop, actually fits in perfectly. So once we've got the background, as you can see with Steve's, I usually use whatever stadium is being built, but I also turn the opacity down, which we do here. I usually go between 75 and 50 depending on the brightness of the image I'm working with, but for the sake of this one we'll go 75. And then you can see we've got the particles as well, so you want to come back onto Google Images, search for a particle background, and then what we'll do here is we look for a particle background. I actually pretty like this one, Rotor Free Sparkle stock video. It's a stock video, but it'll do. Copy. So a lot of it is stock footage I'm free to use. This goes here. I usually set that to an overlay. That looks pretty damn dope. What if we put it on a hard light? Hard light looks cool. Alright, we're going to do that on a hard light, and we're going to put that to an overlay. What if we screen it? No. What if we screen it and put it on like 30% opacity? That looks pretty cool. And after that, guys, you can press Control U. If you want to mess around with the colors, you can. I'm looking to basically make this half here blue. Which we can kind of do there, and then we can mess around with this as well to sort of blend the colors a bit better, so that looks cool. And then, as you can see, we've got the Wolverhampton's logo and the text. These are the final two bits to do. So in terms of logo, for this one we're going to use the Photoshop logo, which again is also free to use. So we're going to copy the Photoshop logo here. We're going to probably scale and position it there, and once again this becomes an overlay, so it sort of blends in color wise with the background. After that, simply just a text. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use Burbank Big Condensed. So you want to type the text that we're going to do, which is obviously, that's not the right font, is it? No, that's Cooper STD. We want Burbank Condensed, which should be that one, which is obviously the same font I use for the Fortnite thumbnails. We're going to rotate it slightly. We're going to put it there so it lines up halfway through the PS logo. And if you go to Window Styles, you can bring up this little box here. Yours won't have this many styles in it. These are the ones that I've used across various different projects for multiple years, but I want to pick something nice and blue. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So that looks pretty cool, and then we can duplicate that layer. Because as you can see, if we go back to Steve, it's got this sort of weird pop out around it, which is pretty easy. It's just a case of this one here. No, I've scrolled up too far. This one here adds the sort of blue outline to it. Problem solved. Then we want to duplicate that again. Duplicate layers. Yes. And then we're changing that to tutorial. Tutorial. Then it's back to Control T. That brings up, like, make sure you've got both selected. You can do that by pressing Shift and then selecting both, and then Control T. We can upscale that one to match the dimensions of the one above it, and then it's a case of, like I said, lining it up just like so. And that is how you make a Steve Games style thumbnail. Again, what you want to do after that, you're going to go File, Export, Safe Web Legacy, or Alt Shift Control S, which is a lot of keys to be pressing. Like, so I usually just do that, and then save it as a JPEG. Optimized, basically saving it like this optimizes it to use on a website like YouTube and not lose any quality. And after that, simply just a case of selecting what you want to, like typing in here what you want to save it as, where you want to save it to. Yes, replace, because I butchered the recording previously, and voila. So thank you all for coming and watching. If you want to know how I make the Fortnite thumbnail, simply head on over to my channel, link in the description. Come check it out. We will go over how I make the Fortnite thumbnails. It's a little bit more of a similar process, but slightly different as well, because we're using assets from in-games. But other than that, thank you guys for coming and watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let's get Steve to 3K, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.